Okay, so January is definitely not the most stacked month for sneaker releases. However, I will say that there are some gems in here which I'm pretty excited for. And either way, we do this every single month. I'm going to be going over the top 10 most hyped sneakers dropping here in January. So let me get you prepped and ready for the month ahead. Starting off at the number 10 spot, the Pawn Shop Nike Dunk High. Now this is a collaboration that on its surface looks pretty plain. I mean, it pretty much just looks like an all over black pair of Nike Dunk Highs. But I will say that it does appear that it has some pretty premium aspects, like all of the gold accent colors. The inner sock liner looks super soft. The leather and even the gold aglets look pretty premium. Overall, it's definitely not the most exciting collaboration, but as far as the Dunk High goes, this one's pretty solid. Now these should be dropping on January the 14th. Coming in at number 9 is the Zhang collaboration with Babesta. Now this is another sneaker release that is relatively simple. I mean, this colorway looks pretty much the same as the first colorway. I mean, just swap out the light gray from the previous collaboration with black. Now personally, I think that I prefer the first colorway, but this one is definitely not bad, and I think generally it has a decent amount of hype behind it. These are going to be dropping on the 7th of January on Bape's website, and even some other raffles might pop up at some point this month. And coming in at number 8 is the Sesame Seed Bun Nike Dunk. Yes, another Nike Dunk with another random colorway thrown onto it, but I gotta say this one is at least more interesting as far as sneaker releases this month. Now obviously by the name and just by the look of it, you can see that the inspiration behind this colorway is from a Sesame Seed Bun. And I can only assume because it's a Nike Dunk that these should be releasing at pretty much everywhere. However, we're not entirely sure yet because the release date for these should be the 15th of January. Coming in at number 7 is the Jordan 2 Craft. Now I've said it quite a few times, but looking at a lot of the leaks and rumors for Jordan sneakers here in 2023, we can see that they're moving forward with this Craft naming scheme on quite a few different models. And I've got to say, I kind of like it, and even on this pair of Jordan 2s, it's pretty clean in terms of the colorway. So I definitely can't be mad at this one. Although it's a relatively simple pair of Jordan 2s, it's definitely a clean colorway with all of those tan elements and of course the sail accents as well. Now these should be dropping on January the 26th. And at number 6, we have the Jordan 5 Dunk on Mars. Now I actually think that this is a pretty clean colorway of the Jordan 5. It is important to mention that this is going to be a women's size run only, so that means it's not going to go anywhere above about a US 10.5, which is pretty unfortunate. In fact, I really liked the previous women's exclusive, which was the Gore-Tex version, another banger colorway. This one is pretty similar, just swap the black for red, and obviously it's not Gore-Tex. There's a lot of details I do really like about this pair of Jordan 5s. If you like the look of it as well, it's going to be dropping on January the 14th. Coming in at number 5 is a very recently announced pair of sneakers. It's the Bad Bunny collaboration on the Campus Adidas sneaker. As you know, last month we got the final Bad Bunny Forum Buckle Low, and that was the kind of all over sale colorway. It seems like this Campus sneaker is going to kind of continue that trend. It has a lot of the details that we're kind of familiar with when it comes to a Forum sneaker. However, obviously it being a Campus model, there's a lot of differences as well. I happen to think that this is a very clean colorway and a pretty fitting way for Bad Bunny and Adidas to continue working together. Now, if you like the look of these things as well, these are going to be dropping on January the 28th. Coming in at number 4 is the Jordan 1 Low KO Union collaboration. So earlier last year, we got the rumors that Jordan Brand was going to be working with Union once again on a Jordan 1 Low KO. Now, Union and Jordan have created some pretty incredible stuff in the past. However, this version of the Jordan 1 has never been that hyped. Even though this is not the most flashy, this is not the most crazy pair of sneakers by any means, it is pretty wearable and it's definitely different. From what I can tell, the upper is pretty much staying true to a regular Jordan 1 KO, being that it's all over canvas material, and on this specific colorway, it's just pretty much white. Now, the Nike swoosh is probably the most interesting thing about this pair of sneakers because you can actually remove it and replace it with what looks to be this blue color instead of the gray. And that is pretty much it, at least from what we can tell from these images. Either way, just the fact that Union and Jordan Brand are collaborating on a pair of sneakers definitely gets people going, and it is definitely going to be a hyped sneaker. If you're going to be after this one, it is dropping January 27th. Right, now before we get to the top 3, let me just run through some honorable mentions that I thought should be added to this list in some capacity. I've got 4 honorable mentions, starting with probably the funniest one on this list. It's the Adidas Adi Foam Superstar. That's right, Adidas is extending their foam sneaker lineup with this, I guess, foam clog looking pair of shoes to resemble a Superstar. And these should be dropping on January the 16th. Another one would be the Jordan 9 Concord dropping on the 7th. We've got the Jordan 7 Olive also dropping on the 7th. And then finally the Adidas 350s, or the Yeezy sneakers that Adidas is planning to drop. We don't exactly know what Adidas is going to call these sneakers, but we do know apparently the first sneaker that's going to drop. I actually have this pair of shoes in hand, and I posted a video about it yesterday, so if you want a little bit more details on the first Adidas Yeezy sneaker without Kanye West, go and check that one out. We don't have an exact release date, but it is speculated that they should be dropping at some point this month. And let's get to the top 3. Starting at the 3rd spot, the New Balance 1906R Refined Future. This is New Balance's way of continuing their, I guess you could say, protection pack, the sneakers with a kind of weathered and jagged cut suede material all over it. Now, I think on this 1906 model, it actually fits pretty well, and I like pretty much all of the colorways that should be upcoming this month. Now, the annoying part is that a lot of these releases are really random, so some different retailers have already released them. However, the New Balance release is still yet to happen, and there should be a bunch of other raffles that pop up throughout this month. Even though we don't have an exact date, I would just be on the lookout because there are a bunch of retailers that are holding raffles as we speak. And at the number 2 spot is the massive Nike Dunk restocks happening this month. So as far as I'm aware, we've got at least 3 different extremely hyped up Nike Dunk silhouettes that are dropping this month in January. The first one is the Panda Dunks. These are going to be dropping on the Nike app on the 19th. And then we've got the Nike Dunk Low Gray Fog. This one has a bunch of different raffles available, including end clothing, sneakers and stuff, and a couple other ones which are all kind of loaded up for slightly different release dates. But for the most part, a lot of the raffles for this Gray Fog colorway end on the 9th of January. And then the final colorway restocking this month is the Nike Dunk Low Kentucky. There's at least one raffle available on size. However, I do believe that there are some other retailers also restocking this colorway, including potentially another Nike sneakers app restock. So just keep your eyes out if you're after any of these colorways when it comes to the Nike Dunk. They should all be dropping and restocking this month. And at the number 1 spot is the Jordan 1 High True Blue. Listen, I told you guys this month is nothing crazy, okay? This sneaker, no, it's not the most hyped pair of Jordan 1s, but it is relatively clean. It is clean for a pair of Jordan 1s. Now, this is going to be the first Jordan 1 High for 2023, and actually, I've got a review out coming tomorrow or the next day, and there's quite a few details on this pair of sneakers which are actually pretty interesting. But yeah, if you're after this pair of Jordan 1s, they should be dropping on January the 14th, and stay tuned to the channel because I'll have a full review up where you can see these bad boys on foot. That is the list. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then,